We're just going to watch them.
I want to tell you about a way of multiplying two very special types of polynomials. And I want you to think about it as really like cooking. Maybe some of you actually do some barbecuing. I know that I do. For example, you can wrap it up nicely. Okay, you have your food right here, nice and tight. And then what you can do is you can take your flame, and you don't want too hot of a flame. You just want just enough so you can really, and don't burn your hands while you do this. Most people actually put this on a grill, you see. You do this, and you do this for about 45 minutes. And then when you're all done, it's like these cooking shows, we sort of fast forward. Now, I already have one prepared. And what you have here is really a foil. That's exactly what's going on here. And with foil, I think about foil, first, outside, inside, and last. So first, if you open it, it's very hot by the way. Ooh, can you see the steam coming off this? The first, if you open it up, you see, and so there is the head. So there's the first. And then you've got the outside, you've got the inside, and then if you open it up, you've got the last. And there you have your dinner. And there you have the method of multiplying two binomials together, and that is the method known as foiling. Let me show you this first, outside, inside, last with examples. It's a great way to remember, and a delicious meal, by the way, which will feed about a family of two. Or not. Now, suppose you're looking at 3x plus 1, and I want to multiply that by 2x minus 3. This little...
Okay, we're pausing him now. It's great. If you want to see more of his classes, you can find them on YouTube. His name is Edward Berger. He is a award-winning teacher. He happens to teach at Williams College at the moment. Thinkwell hired him to do a whole bunch of their algebra courses. He does happen to write jokes for Jay Leno. He's been honored all over the place. He's an absolutely stupendous teacher. And the way Thinkwell works is the students watch these video lectures. Some of them are like that, which are just videos. Some of them have whiteboards going on as well. Some of them have various graphics. And what we are actually doing is we're combining that with an on-demand tutoring service via Skype. So 18 hours a day, if a student has any question about the work they're doing, they can Skype somebody and get an answer, on a whiteboard, get as much explanation as they need, and have someone to work through the problem with them at any time. These are some examples of the chemistry teachers that our kids will have also through Thinkwell. It's a little hard to see, but they're all amazing, award-winning, really just stupendous teachers. These are some reviews of one of the chemistry teachers, Dean Harmon. A jewel of our teaching crown. Like one of the kids said, being in Dean's class is like being in an awesome club. He's just a great teacher. And here's a quote from Dean Harmon on learning. He said, "No amount of technology can replace the qualities of a good teacher. The most effective learning takes place when a student feels a sense of ownership and feel they are an active part of the learning process." To us, that sort of summarizes exactly what blended learning is. It's using technology to give the students a sense of ownership and feel they're an active part of the learning process. Oh, thank you. For the science, I'll just go back to that for a second. For the science bit, we do have, in addition to the Thinkwell programs, we also have once a week an on-site lab with an actual teacher on site, which the students will do their lab work. And also once a week they will have a discussion session where they can ask an on-site teacher any questions that they happen to have. For our humanities classes, which take place all on site, we are going to be using a sort of part-time adjunct model so that we can hire people who are really experts in those areas and have them teach that course. And these are the kinds of people we're hiring now. These are the people that we are talking to. We're talking to someone who is a successful author of young adult fiction and wants to now, teach at a high school level, and he's a fabulous teacher. We happen to be lucky enough to be in an area where there's a lot of colleges and universities, and there's a lot of university faculties who have spouses who were university faculty who have now taken some time off because they have small children or whatever, and they're interested in teaching on a part-time basis, and these happen to be really good teachers too. And we're also talking to Teach for America alumna who, have left teaching now for graduate school or something, but again would like to keep their hand in a little bit. back to Shoshana. So she's finished her world history seminar, and she's heading over to the Beit Midrash to meet with our Chumash group. The Beit Midrash is a large room. It's actually about this large. It's got a bunch of tables in it and chairs, and what happens there is the students work together in Chavruta to prepare for their Jewish studies classes. There are teachers there who are acting as facilitators to help the students, but the students are mostly, learning on their own with, facilitated help. Peter's going to come up in a few minutes and talk specifically about our Jewish studies program, so I'm not going to get into that too much at this point. After she's in the Beit Midrash, she's going to head over to the common room and work on algebra. What is the common room? The common room is another large room kind of like this. It's a combination between a library and a rec room when you walk in. There are tables, there are comfy chairs, there's carrels where students can work at their laptops. There's a refrigerator and a microwave, of course. There's a proctor there who's making sure that the students, are behaving themselves and, doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's a lot of students there. Some of them are working in groups, some of them are reading, some of them are writing, some of them are working on their laptops on different programs with their headsets on. It's a very social, warm atmosphere, but at the same time, they're working. It's like, I think like college libraries are now that everybody's more techy. How does Shoshana know where to go? Because as I didn't really say before, but I should have, this is Shoshana's schedule. Each student will have a different schedule because each student's program is customized for that person. So you can't just say, oh, all the freshmen are heading over to math now, I guess I need to go to math. She's doing math at a different time than anybody else. We are developing a wonderful technical marvel, which we're calling the portal. The portal is the technical nerve center of the Learning Center. It is an information system, it is a communication system, and it is a teaching and evaluation system. Everything that a student does is recorded on their portal page. Their attendance, their grades and assessment, examples of their work, teacher comments, everything is stored on their portal. So that when the time comes for them to apply to college, they can draw stuff from there and come up with an absolutely wonderful portfolio to present to the college admissions people. In addition, the portal is a communication system. All relevant email, all their assignments, all their syllabi, all student-teacher communications, all family-teacher communications or family administrator communications, all of that goes through the portal and is recorded there, and everybody within the system has access to it. The portal is also a teaching and evaluation system. I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with Moodle. So it's a Moodle-based platform, so teachers can create their classes there. The kids can watch videos. They can have their writing assignments there. They can submit their work through there. They can put work on it and have other students comment on it and work on it. It's all in there. In addition, the system that we're coming up with is going to work with ThinkWell and Rosetta Stone, so the students can also access those programs through it, and all that will be recorded as well. Okay, so after she does algebra in the common room for a while, she's going to head over to gym and have gym. That's pretty self-explanatory. She'll have lunch, and she's going back to the common room, and she's going to work on her French for a while. In addition, if you peek over at Friday, once a week, she has a 1-hour immersion discussion in French. All our students have that with the language component. I'm going to just give you an example of Rosetta Stone. This is actually Spanish, but it's the same sort of concept.